earlier talking about travel corridors. This is a travel corridor that's coming from the neighbor's land, and it's going to go right into our food plot. And like I said, when you're making a plan, you want to make a plan where you get them to move around as much on your land as possible. So we want to, and making travel corridors to go from one spot to another, other points of interest for deer, keeps them on your land longer for a better shot at you harvesting a deer. So this here, last year when we put in this food plot, we noticed that we had so many trees down on the corners and brush piles that they had a hard time coming in. They were actually coming in where I quickly put up a tree stand, which was a bad thing also. So now this year we will be well prepared. The things on the corner, like having brush piles or wood down or anything, is okay, but they need good ways to get in here, and if you can put them in a place that's good for you, where you know where they're going to be, it's a big advantage to you. So this is where they can come in. I put a mock scrape to keep them on this trail a little longer, just to keep more interest on it. And like I said, over here there's a hill over here, and they can travel up there, and then there's a water source on the other side. As you can see, this travel corridor does go into a food plot that we just planted with some brassicas and some stuff, starting to green up. But this brush pile went over to here, which was mistakes for us, which left them hard to get through. And they always actually came close to the stand, which the stand is going to be moved. Last year we fell behind and kind of rushed at the end and things like that. Not thinking things through can really throw you off as far as deer hunting, and you learn every year. This year the stand is going to be over here. I just need to get a good way to get over here without disturbing the plot. There will be something over there also, a blind, but as you can see, we cleared it out and put it right to the food plot. And like I said, a mock scrape here. That brush pile is in a bad spot. I'm either going to get rid of it or move it into the woods a little bit for a cover for some small animals, so small game, because brush piles work great. If you're a small game hunter, get some brush piles, put them all over, and we're going to do a video on that, because just clearing up behind the cabin, we decided to put a backyard and behind the cabin, and we still have the brush piles, and it's unbelievable since we did that how many rabbits and squirrels and everything else are in there. So that's going to be a future small game tip. But just for this year, I decided to clear it off. Eventually this year we fell behind. Well, you know, summers I get a little busy, but we're going to clear this off, like I said, and we're going to finish this top of this L part of this food plot, which it is here, but you know, it's not finished, but there's food here, and it's a really good plot, a good spot. As far as bedding, there's going to be bedding in here, and that's another thing I like to use brush for. Brush, logs, whatever. We noticed that when I was hunting here, this brush pile, they would always bed right next to it. They liked having something to their back. I really seen that. I really sold on that every time. It was hard for me to get out because of the way it was set up last year. So I'm hoping to get something in here and push it out. But yeah, my plan is better this year, where I'm going to be able to get out whether it's deer in the food plot or not. So with better planning, like I said, if you don't know how you want to do it, talk to a habitat consultant. They can really help you. But for right now, this is our travel corridor. We really need to clean the brush pile. We have brush piles, so that way this is one spot to get into. But another tip too is that you don't want to make a deer field confined. You don't want it all of a sudden surrounded like it has four walls and a doorway. You need multiple ways to get in, but plan it accordingly to where it helps you. Here's a travel corridor. In the last video you could see over there where we haven't cleaned the wood up yet, but I really want to get that done yet this year. And we got a lot of it out already, just haven't got it done. We got this path cleared up because we want to put some trees out of here, and when we put this plot in, anything that fell this way, which they tended to on this side, we just left last year, and then we cut up this year, left the brush, and we got everything out of here. As you can see, they can make it here, and there's another way, and they can come from up the hill and stuff. But travel corridors, like I said, we got to clean some little stuff off the trail, but still fine. But we really want to get that other side cleaned up, but just for easier travel to promote deer movement on our land. I put this travel corridor in here today because to get to this field that we planted with soybeans and brassicas and stuff, they only had to cut if you come out and there's a road over here, because this is on the top corner of our land, and we wanted to plan it to bring things up to this, bring here up to this corner of our land. They didn't come up to this corner before because we let someone else use it, and they didn't plant anything. They just use it for bedding, and just we put cameras out here last year, and there was no interest in it at all. So we planted this year, and we really wanted to get them a better trail that kept them away from the road. And like I said, it comes down the hill, and they can be in here without being seen from anywhere except maybe the corner of a house back here where there's no interest, you know, and that's a ways away, so they're fine with that. We got tree stand back here to get them, you know, to see them on the way here. But that's what this is for. I'm going to come back, I'm going to spray it with Roundup to keep it from coming up. But like I said, there's raspberries here, there's a mockscape back here, and they can't be seen coming in here. So that's what really is going to put them on this travel corridor compared to the one up there. It's good to keep your travel corridors clear. Here's a tree that fell. Didn't totally block it off, but you know, hard to get through a little bit. We got to clear it off. But over here, there's some more damage from a storm last week. So keep your travel corridors clear. Here's the travel corridor. This tree fell, totally blocking access from this direction back to that food plot back there. So we need to get this cleared up. And it's good to check out your woods after a storm. This actually has some storm damage from before, but we kept the trails clear because we totally want to change this area. There's going to be bedding over here, and that's going to lead to this way. But as you can see, this part right here, this tree fell and actually created licking branches because it was kind of leaned, kind of hung up over here. But now this fell, pulling this all the way down. So I'm going to have to clear some of this too. It's ready to get through. Whether we'll get it all totally cleaned up, I won't right away. But this winter, this is our project as far as cleaning this area. But now, right now, it's getting the travel corridors open. As you can see, it's not perfect, but we threw the tree over to here. The top and the travel corridor is accessible now. I'll get doing that food plot from this way. There's not a lot of ways on this land for them to get out to this other spot that I have. This way, or through that, through this bog we have. So we really want to keep this road open. So it is important to check your corridors, make sure trees didn't fall. Same with sanctuaries. Some people say don't go into sanctuaries, but the tree falls across the trail and you ruin it without even knowing it. But we got this open now. I do got to get a little bit here, but it's raining real hard now. I think it's supposed to rain for the next 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Depends on what it says when I look at it next. But next weekend, hopefully, we'll get this cleared a little more and do some finishing touches for hunting season. So overall, travel corridors, you want to use them to your advantage. So when you're putting travel corridors for a hunter, access to your stands, you don't want to put things like that'll attract deer to that. So on your travel corridors, you want to add things like mock scrapes, water sources, or mineral sites, or anything onto these travel corridors to attract deer, keep the deer on them, and steer them around your property. Even if it means closing off, kind of shutting down another piece, you know, another trail or whatever, putting something across it, so that way they don't use it. This is the easiest access to this food plot from over here, and it'll travel. So what our goal is to put all these travel corridors all over our land with so many things to visit, you know, like mock scrapes, water sources, mineral sites, food plots, and all this is to keep them traveling on our land, to keep them on our land for a longer period of time, to give us an opportunity to harvest the deer. So that's the difference between ways to get in for your tree stands or blinds, doing the corridors that you want the deer to use. So like I said, You want to put licking branches, anything like that, on the travel corridors, keep them interested, and on those trails, on those corridors, off of your access to stands. And a lot of, there's different ways of doing it, but test it and find out. But that's the main thing with corridors, so travel corridors, so use them to your advantage.
Thanks for watching this video from Habitat Managers TV. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. And make sure to check out my page, What Noah Does for Fun, for builds like this tree stand that I've built. And make sure you hit my like and subscribe button as well. Thanks.